stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. NBA Bit. Another cold day here in New York City. And yeah, good catch, everybody, on the typo. Thank you for letting me know. I went and fixed it. I didn't. Yeah, I listened. It was a late night followed by an early morning. All right, we were grinding the tape last night and this morning. So all right, sometimes mistakes happen. Yeah, we got Matty Harrison in the chat. Who else? We got the Common Man's here. We got DJ P in the house. Sneeps is here. Shout out to Sneeps and Weisberg. They were doing a little playback last night. Oh, we got the dog. Heard some noise. He's like, let's go. What's going on outside? We got the regulator Justine in the house. Mathology up in here this morning. Hope everybody had a good night last night. They were grinding the underdog streets. We had an okay night last night, actually. We did all right. Let's see. Let's pull it up. Let's see how we finished. We had a fun little sweat. That Miles Bridges, man. Miles Bridges was doing some crazy stuff last night. He went off. And it helped us get into where were we here? Let's see. We finished. Where was it? Did I share screen the right way? We had 8th place finish right there and a 33rd place finish. Look at the Joker up here dropping 66. Fox was hilarious because he like stopped scoring fantasy points in the second half, and then the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, right, he comes in, misses 2 free throws, and then just went nuts. Miles Bridges 74 fantasy points last night, and then Hallie and Zubac, so that was a fun one. And then this one, similar build, except Franz was in there instead of Trae Young, and then Giddey in the back end. But so a solid night last night. We needed a dub. I know I was trying not to swear in the first 5 minutes, Stan. That was intentional. Trying not to swear in the first 5 minutes. We'll take a look at tonight's slate a little bit later. I think we're going to have some spicy, fun Q tags. Reminder, too, just for other content before we dive into today. Live Before Lock coming at you at 5 o'clock. That'll be fun. Buckets and Tea on the Raptors Republic channel. I'm a guest on that show a little bit later today. That should be dropping. And then go check out the most recent episode of Hoop Sense that dropped yesterday on the Count the Dings YouTube channel. All right, that's it. Let's get into it. Let me switch the media assets here. Yes, and yes. So we're going to start with the Wemby stuff. I know if you tuned in on our fantasy show a little bit yesterday, you probably caught most of this. I'm sure you've heard a lot of people talk about it at this point. But Shams reported yesterday that all-star Victor Wembanyama expected to miss the rest of the season with deep vein thrombosis in the right shoulder, has a form of blood clot in the right shoulder. He's out for the season. The Spurs believe that it is an isolated condition, but that means no Wemby for the rest of the season. A couple other reports. I think Mark Stein reported that they feel pretty confident that he's going to be ready to go for the start of the regular season. So that is a good sign. Hopefully, I mentioned this yesterday. I was reading up on it, and a friend of mine deals with a similar thing. But sometimes when there's this like if you're like growing too much, there's like medication. Again, this is not science. Okay, this is more me talking like Aaron Rodgers right now. But if you're growing like too much, there's this specific medication you can take or that you can get on that will like slow the growth or whatever. And sometimes when you are a monster human being like Victor Wembanyama, that's something that can happen. But it also increases the likelihood of DVT or something like that. So hopefully he's going to be good to go soon. Asar Thompson battled something similar. He's back in action now. Obviously, you point to Chris Bosh as somebody who had dealt with this. So hopefully it's not too serious. It's a bummer for San Antonio, obviously, and just for basketball fans, man. Wemby and casuals too. Like even the casuals watching Wembanyama play basketball is crazy. It just doesn't look normal when you see it. And he was kind of ascending this year. There was a crazy stat that I think they said he's got 74 more. Is that right? Is that the number? Like 74 more blocks than the next closest guy. But it does kind of, chess fans too. Well, maybe he can still play some chess. It does open up, though, some conversation for Defensive Player of the Year now. Also, not only Defensive Player of the Year, but you got to imagine he was an All-NBA guy, and now that opens up another All-NBA spot as well. San Antonio bounced back pretty quickly. I mentioned De'Aaron Fox cooking. I guess we can actually get into that. Let's just kind of move into last night's basketball because the Suns are in trouble, man. I know they were on the road, as everybody told us yesterday. I think Mathology, you were one of them too. I think you said it during the show, guys. KD playing at his old gym, in Austin. The Spurs win this game 120-109. This is the starting five. This is out the whole rotation of San Antonio. This is the team that the Phoenix Suns lost to. Harrison Barnes at the 4, Biz Mac Biombo at the 5, 39-year-old Chris Paul, De'Aaron Fox, and Devin Vassell. And then here's who came off the bench. You had Castle, cool, big body, Keldon Johnson, beware the Jeremy Sohan, and then Julian Champagnie. That is the rotation that beat the Phoenix Suns last night, 120-109. And like Fox, again, I mentioned he kind of went nuts. A couple statistics shy of a triple-double finish with 26, 9, and 7. CP3 had a dub, 13 and 10. Castle played some great hoop off the bench. He had a double-double, 10 and 10 with 3 steals. Keldon Johnson with some big buckets in the second half, some couple and ones. Vassell, cooled off a little bit. But, man, the Suns, again, you got 27 points from Royce O'Neal. 27 points from Royce O'Neal and couldn't get it done. And what are they going to do? 4 stocks for KD and Fox was paying more attention to K Adams and putting up stats. Yeah, maybe, man, that's facts. Well, if you're getting 20, this we always point shit like this out though, but you expect KD and Book to cook, right? And it's okay, we just need one other guy on this roster to step up to win basketball games. It doesn't have to be the same guy every time, but Bradley Beal, need a big game from you, need a big game from somebody. Royce goes for 27, 50% from 3 in that game, 6 for 12, 10 for 16 for the field. But then it was Book gave him 17 and 8. KD only took 13 shots. What's going on? Grayson Allen almost took more shit. I just don't understand. Anyways, KD finishes with 22 and 5. The Spurs get the win. We'll do some more looking at the West here in a second, but with the Suns are now out. They're 3 games under 500, man. And some would say the vibes can get too bad, right? 3 games under 500. They are now a full 2 games back of the Golden State Warriors. And listen, when the AD injury happened, we're man, Dallas is going to really need to fight to stay not only in the playoff hunt, but in the play-in hunt. And now, I don't know, maybe the 10 is set because I don't see the Suns making up 2 games. I just don't. I don't, because if you're not going to win that game, what game are you going to win? I'm not going to share screen for this, but if you go to Tankathon and we look at the remaining schedule, strength of schedule, the Phoenix Suns have the 2nd toughest schedule the rest of the way out. Now, to be fair, the Kings have the 4th toughest. So, that's another team in that range, but I just don't see them catching. I don't see them catching. They're 2 games behind the Kings, 2 games behind the Warriors, 3.5 behind the Mavs, and then 4.5 behind the Timberwolves. I think they're screwed. There we go, Boston-based. What a goat, Boston-based. Giving out memberships. Boston-based is rich. Regulators saying the Suns just need to add more Hornets. Hey, you know what? You know what we learned? Big Dick Nick Rich, our guy Nick Richards, yikes. That they were just hoping to plug a hole there with the center position. I think they're actually missing Yusuf Nurkic right now. It is a tough scene over there. And I really do. I mean, it begs the question of what the offseason is going to look like, because I think we are really at the point right now that KD is gonzo. You had ownership, right? If you rewind a couple of years, a lot of the moves, new owner syndrome, goes out there and just drops a ton of money. Let's go get Bradley Beal. Let's forfeit our future. Let's try to win now. Sure. And yes, it didn't pan out. You wanted to try to move Bradley Beal, who has a no trade clause. You wanted to go, and then he's not. You're not going to be able to move him. So then you float KD's name out there. KD didn't even want to get traded. He's extension eligible this offseason. He gone. He is gone. He is gone. Alex Winters in the chat says Trey Jefferson is decent on the Lakers. Luka need to get on HGH. Yeah, they'll be fine. Lakers just need to hang around. They'll be all right. Nurk has played okay for the Hornets, just can't shoot threes. Yeah, he can't shoot threes. What about Capella or even Valanciunas? So the trade deadline's over, right? So Valanciunas is on the Kings, so I don't think Valanciunas is getting moved. And then Clint Capella would need to get bought out by the Atlanta Hawks. And the Lakers don't have enough. I don't think they have enough financial flexibility to pick up somebody like Capella. What is KD worth on the trade market? That's a great question, Regulator. I mean, listen, what is Kevin Durant? 36? Is that right? Let's see. Let's Google. He's 36 years old, right? So I don't know. I mean, like, it depends what he's looking for an extension too. Like if he is trying to get, if he's on his Jimmy Butler bullshit and he's trying to get like another 4 or 5 year deal, I think that's going to be tough. However, if he's like, let's just do a 2-year extension and then see what happens. Yeah, it could just be like and it depends what team it's going to, but I could see a first round pick. I mean, I'm sure the Suns would just like to get some other of their own picks back. You know what I mean? Just ugly, ugly stuff. I forgot to switch the media assets to Swooning Suns. But yeah, the Phoenix is in trouble. I mentioned it on the Hoop Sense episode where we were trying to pick like what team of that 7 to 11 range is not even going to make the play-in. And again, that's the play-in. That's not even the playoffs, man. Playoffs. So like that means 2 other teams of this Timberwolves, of the 5 of T-Wolves, Mavs, Kings, Warriors, and Suns. 3 of those aren't going to be in the playoffs. And 1 not even in the plan. And we should shout out the Clippers here. Clippers, let's actually go to the Bucks clips now. Let's go do that game now because there's some interesting implications from that. Bucks win this one 116-110. The Clippers were up 13 with, I think, like 6 or 7 minutes left. It might even been less than that. Bucks outscore them 36-21 in the fourth quarter. Giannis only played, I'm sure if anybody was gambling, Giannis only played 24 minutes last night, finished with 23, 8, and 4. Dame time with 15, 7, and 7 and 33 minutes. Just real quick on tonight, the Bucks are on a back-to-back against the Washington Wizards. Giannis is like ADP 2 or 3 on Underdog right now. There's no way he's playing, right? On a minute restriction and a back-to-back against the Wizards. I almost think Dame might not play too. So get ready for the Kyle Kuzma. But anyways, Clippers fall apart here. Give this one away. And again, now like they're 7 games over 500 right now. And they're not that far away from falling into the play-in. So, yeah, I don't know. Weird stuff. But anyways, good win for Milwaukee. Tough loss for the Clippers. Just some Clipper stats for you. Big Z, Zubac, 20 and 15. Also dropped 5 stocks on him. Kawhi, the Claw. Kawhi's now playing over 30 minutes. Sound the alarms. 25, 4 and 4 with a couple steals. And then James Harden, 24 and 8. Again, though, some interesting stuff from Milwaukee yesterday. So a couple of tidbits. Let's get why so harsh on Bobby Portis? Listen, I mentioned this a little bit yesterday. I mean, I do think it's kind of horseshit. We talked about Miles Bridges a little bit earlier, that like somebody like Miles Bridges, I know, and Miles Bridges apologists are going to be like, well, you actually missed the whole year. Well, they don't get credit for that. Because he wasn't actually suspended. He just wasn't signed because he was a piece of shit. And then he comes back and he gets suspended for, what was it, 10 games, whatever. Either way, I shared the wrong screen. Either way, Bobby Portis getting suspended for that much time for a new drug. I get it. Rules are rules, but man. Anyways, Bobby Portis representatives tell ESPN Bobby unintentionally took a pain med called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a pain medication called Toradol. 25 games, man. That's crazy. Most of the rest of the season. It's brutal. And then to not only that, man, let me see if did this come out? I don't know if this is on Shams's thing. Maybe it's on we'll look at Dunk Central maybe. But the other thing that happened with Milwaukee yesterday is that Shams is on ESPN on Get Up or whatever garbage ESPN content there is. I think he was talking to Malika Andrews. Let me see if I can find it. And he's putting some pressure on putting some pressure on the Bucks, saying like if we don't go deep this year, you could find him in a new location that he'll want to leave Milwaukee, which I don't think is the craziest thing. Like for him to feel that way. I'm not trying to say he shouldn't feel that way, but why say that now? Why say that now? Here we go. All right, I found it yesterday, 24 hours ago. All right. I'm not going to play let's see how long the clip is. Hold on. Let's see. Is this a long clip? All right. Well, let's just listen to it. Let's listen to it.
What are you hearing about Giannis and his feelings about being with the Bucks?
Matt, everyone knows Giannis Antetokounmpo loves the Bucks, but I'm here to tell you he loves winning more, and that's why everyone within that Bucks organization, they know what's at stake this season. They know the pressure, and every summer when Giannis looks around and he looks at the Bucks' current roster, he looks at sustained long-term winning. Where will he be able to find that? He has said publicly on the record, if he feels like that's not attainable anymore in Milwaukee, he will look elsewhere. But of course, he has tried always to make everything work.
I'm going to pause right here just because right now it looks like Shams is on the show. Looks like he's on the show and we're having a conversation right there. But my point being, like, why now? Because it's not like the team can make any moves right now, right? There, unless it's like a buyout guy. But so Bobby gets suspended, and then you're out there being like, yeah, man, if we don't go on a deep run, you're not putting pressure on like the front office. You're putting pressure on yourself and their teammates. Because if you guys don't make a deep run this year, then deuces, you're out skis, right? I don't know. The timing of that was a little bit weird, I thought. And I'll be honest, I don't see, like, let's go look at the Eastern Conference. I don't really see Milwaukee making a run right now. Do you guys? Like, I mean, I guess if you're just saying, hey, we've got Dame, we've got Giannis, like, I don't know. Maybe we can make a run. But here we go. Like right now, they're chasing the Pacers. And like, listen, I don't really think the Pistons are going to catch them, but the Pistons are a game and a half back, one game behind in the win column. The Pacers have a full game lead over them. So like best case scenario, Milwaukee is too far back. They're not all of a sudden getting the 3 seed. So their best case scenario for the Bucks is they host a first round playoff series against the Pacers or the Pistons, and then have to take on the Cavs in the second round. And I don't know, maybe you don't believe in the Cavs, so you're like, well, they got a shot. But I don't know, man. I think I don't really have a lot of faith in Milwaukee. When we've been doing the playoff best ball stuff and I've been drafting, I'm not really excited to stack up this Bucks team. Like I just don't see the ceiling of this roster as currently constructed. And now Bobby Portis, who again, like from a fantasy perspective, Giannis sits, Bobby Portis goes nuts. Yes, we're like the Bobby lobby. We love Bobby Portis. He wasn't really having the best of seasons this year, right? It seemed like he had taken a step back, but regardless, they were still relying on him quite a bit. So now you trade, Middleton's gone, you get Kuzma. Now you need guys like Kyle Kuzma and Gary Trent Jr. really to overperform, not only down the stretch, but like in this playoff run. So I don't know. This feels like a one and done to me for the Bucks. Like I think right now, the way this Pacers team is playing, and I know they got a good win last night, but the way that they're defending now, which isn't a thing the Pacers typically do, I don't know. Trying to figure out where Giannis would go. I mean, people were saying Dallas. I don't know. Giannis, they're all about winning over loyalty. That's true. Giannis's wife is from Fresno, so Clippers, Lakers. I don't know. Well, Giannis and Luka, who says no? Who says no? Anyways, let's go poke around the league with the rest of last night's action in our first full slate. Speaking of those Pacers, frisky Pacers, 127-113. They scored 50 points in the second quarter. 50 in the second. They had a 78-59 lead going into halftime. Ja Morant, man, he's been in a funk. Only played 30 minutes last night. 4 for 15 from the field. 12 points, 6 dimes. Grizzlies play the Magic tonight. I noticed the Grizz are only favored by 3.5. I feel like that's telling you that Ja Morant's not playing tonight. Triple J, 18-7. Honestly, Desmond Bane's been playing awesome basketball lately since coming back from that injury. Very efficient night for him. 9 for 16 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3. He had 23, 7, and 5. But the story was Miles Turner, man. Did you get Miles Turner right last night? 8 stocks. My guy had 8 stocks, 17 points, 10 boards, 7 blocks. Just king shit. Siakam, 16-4. Hallie, 22-9. Pacers now 31-23. We just talked about them. I don't think that's like a warning bell for the Grizzlies or anything. But what I will say, the Grizzlies losing and then the Nuggets winning, the Nuggets, man, are just still on fire, picking up right where they left off in the All-Star break. I know it's against Charlotte, and shout out Denver for winning the game, but also allowing Charlotte to stay in it. Look at Miles Bridges' stat line, that piece of shit. 12 for 23 from the field, 5 for 10 from 3, 36 points, 13 boards, 7 dimes, 3 steals, and a block. He was the entire offense. Nurkic was a point and 3 dimes shy of a triple-double. Josh Green went for 19. This bench, I've never heard of Damian Baugh. I don't know what he looks like, but I assume he was wearing like a scally cap and drinking a Guinness. Damian Baugh, 32 minutes from the Baugh. Regulator, do you know who that is? Wow, just wild. I've never heard of that. Saloon. Seth Curry only played 13 minutes. He was exhausted from his podcast debut, maybe. Musa Diabate in there with 11 and 6. Just wild stuff. But the MVP race is just going to be fun because SGA continues to score 31 points every single game, right? And, 31, 6 and 6. That's kind of like what we see from SGA on the best team in the league right now. Joker, on the other hand, 11 for 22 from the field, took 14 threes, which is crazy. 29 points, 17 boards, 1 dime shy of a triple-double. He was awesome. Jamal Murray, look at Jamal Murray. 7 for 10 from 3, 12 for 18 from the field. He was feeling it, 34 and 4. Gordon gave him 18 and 7 in 32 minutes. You got Christian Brown with 10. Zeke Naji with some minutes off the bench. And then Julian Strother. Listen, guys. All right, maybe he's not winning 6th man of the year. Maybe he's not playable that regularly in SORARE. But Julian Strother being an actual bench guy is great. I love it. All right, we're here. The Strother hive is here, okay? Good win for Denver, though, 129-115. Have they won like 10 in a row? It's something crazy like that, right? If we go look at the standings quickly, is it 10 in a row or 9 in a row? 9-1 in their last 10. But I didn't realize they had caught the Grizzlies. They had, with the Grizzlies loss and the Denver win, they are now in the 2 seed, which is huge for them, right? To have home court up until you take on the 1 seed. Pretty big for Denver. Memphis still 6-4 in their last 10, but interesting stuff. Okay, let's keep going. The Beantown boys, the Celtics. All right, I tweeted this out. I am begging the city of Boston. I'm begging ESPN, TNT, whoever's covering the games. When we do the live feeds into a bar in Boston, can we pick another bar that's not the greatest bar? The greatest bar sucks. All right, I know it's in it's in like the North End area and it's fun. The greatest bar is a trash bar. Honestly, most of the locations in that area are not my favorite, but we can find another spot than the greatest bar. It's terrible. What about Hurricane O'Reilly's, right? Isn't that right there? Is that Hurricane O'Reilly's? Is that right? I can't remember. But do another one. Just garbage stuff. Anyway, Celtics get a win. Jason Tatum was awesome last night. Trippy W for my guy. Didn't shoot the ball that well, but finished the game with 15 points, 11 boards, 10 dimes. He continues to do just whatever is asked of him night in and night out for this team to win. Porzingis had 17. Look at this balanced attack. You got 15 from Tatum, 17 from the Zanger, 20 from JB, 16 and 10 from Derek White, 10 boards for White. Drew Holiday only with 8. And then fast PP, Peyton Pritchard, 2 points shy of a 30 bomb off the bench. He went 8 for 15 from 3, 28 points, 4 dimes. Celtics win this one handily. The Sixers suck, man. Joel Embiid, Sleepy Embiid, he had 15 and 4 in this game, only played 27 minutes. Paul George still has only scored, I believe, 20 points like once in the last 2 months or something crazy like that. Paul George is tough seeing. Look at this, minus 24, minus 20, minus 25. Just shit show. Get Yabusele back in the starting lineup. Maxey had 16. Sixers now 20 and 35. They just refuse to gain ground to make the top 10 in the Eastern Conference. It's crazy. And they had all of their guys. I mean, I know it's the Celtics. Celtics are good at basketball, but Sixers are toast, man. Orlando and Atlanta, this was a fun game. Magic won 114-108. Almost the entirety of the offense came from two guys in Orlando. They combined for 61 points last night. Paolo, 36, 10, and 5. Finally starting to see some ceiling from our guy Banchero. Franzi's had 25, 7, and 5. You got 17 from Cole Anthony, 15 big old boards from WCJ, Wendell Carter Jr. And it was the Trae Young show for Atlanta, 38.6 times. I'm going to point this out every time they lose, but the San Antonio Spurs control the Atlanta Hawks first round pick. This is the starting five. Onyeka Okongwu, Risa Shea, Muhammad Gay, Trae Young, Dyson Daniels. You got Barlow playing 7 minutes, Georges Niang, 26, Levert, 2 point shy or 1 point shy from covering the over, that dickhead. And then Capella just doing nothing in there. Just Atlanta's in real trouble here. Orlando, too, is just desperate for a W, desperate for Jalen Suggs to return. But Orlando, as I mentioned, they have a back-to-back tonight against the Grizz. Let's go to Bing Bong. This was a fun overtime game. 113, 111, no Josh Hart, which, by the way, questionable for tonight. I feel like Josh Hart's going to play. I am drafting him a lot in the 6th round. You got Precious Achiuwa in the starting five since there was no OG and no Josh Hart. It does sound like OG Anunoby could be back soon. So look at these minutes, man. It was an overtime game, but Thibodeau is crazy. 46 for Precious, 44 for Bridges, 43 for Cat, 38 for Brunson, and 42 for Deuce McBride. McBride also outscored Brunson, 23 and 6. For McBride, 22 and 12 for Brunsanity. Cat, who had 6 points, I believe, at halftime. 6 points at halftime. 32 points, 18 boards. Finishes that game with that. Good win for the Knicks being shorthanded. They, again, mentioned they played tonight. Bulls, Vucci was the only, Vucci and Giddey, I think, were the only ones that cooked. Vooch finished with 21 and 9. Giddey up 27 and 16. 16 boards for Giddey Mania. Lonzo gave him 14 as well. Just uninspiring basketball from them. We got Cleveland and Brooklyn. Brooklyn actually kept this a game for a little while. Kept this one a game. 110-97, though. Cleveland wins it. Mobley continues to be good, 18 and 13. We got shout out Trey Kirby and no dunk. Some big beef from Jared Allen, 16 and 20 boards there. Spida gave him 26 and 5. Just another ho-hum dub. The minutes for D'Lo are weird. I don't think he came back. I think he left the game, right, and didn't come back. He only played 18 minutes. Leading scorer, Cam Johnson with 18. Brooklyn's tough. Zaire Williams, Cam Johnson, Claxton Russell, Keon Johnson. It's just not fun. It's not fun. We're not going to talk about this team anymore. Let's see. What else we got? We got old man. This is the last game. Old man LeBron. 40-year-old, 40-point game. Second one in like 3 weeks. He goes 4 for 8 from 3, 14 for 24 from the field, 48 and 4. Shout out Portland, kept this game close. AR 15, Austin Reeves 32 and 7. A late block from Austin Reeves got somebody the W last night on the Underdog Daily. Someone was mentioning Trey Jemison earlier. There he is, Trey Jemison the third. From the Blazers side of things, like, I don't know. Whatever. Denny had a good game, 28 and 5. Donovan Clingan only played 17 minutes. Time Lord played way more minutes. So that's something to pay attention to moving forward, because you're going to see on a lot of the top tier projection sites, Clingan's going to project really well. You can't rely on the minutes right now. Let's see. We got some questions will Giddey re-sign with the Bulls? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not sure. Is basketball better after the All-Star break, more intense? No. I think it is. I think we're going to see a lot of, it's so jumbled up. We can go back to the standings for a second. It's so jumbled up that you're going to see people are going to be teams are going to be jockeying all the way down. Eastern Conference, not as much. I feel like the East is kind of set here. The interesting thing is that the Bulls still have a 1.5 lead over the Sixers and Nets. All 3 teams lost last night. Hawks fall down to the 9 seed. The Hawks are going to make the play-in, but honestly, to me, it feels like this is the top 8. The Cavs, Celtics, Knicks is the top 3 for sure. I still think it'll go Pacers, Bucks, Pistons, and then Magic, Heat, and then Hawks. I don't know for the 10 seed. And then this is all garbage down here. But the West, right? You got the Nuggets in the 2 seed with a half game lead over the Grizz. The Rockets are just 2 games behind them. Rockets get Jabari Smith Jr. back tonight, by the way. Fred VanVleet's still probably not playing, but it sounds like he's getting closer to playing basketball. Houston is desperate for their point guard to return. No disrespect to Jalen Green, but just it's not happening. And then you get the Lakers just a half game back behind the Rockets. So the Lakers, if they didn't drop that dumb game to the Hornets the other night, the Lakers have a chance to just be hosting a playoff series. I mentioned the Clippers, who were 5-5 in their last 10. They're now closer to the 7 seed than they are the 5 seed. The Wolves have been playing much better basketball. And they're only a half game out of that. Curious to see when we get Randall back. I think that'll be pretty important. And then the Mavs. I think Dallas is one of the most intriguing teams to pay attention to down here. I'll listen. Let me be clear. The trade was idiotic. I hate that trade. But what I will say is they are going to be a very tough out for a team here, because if AD comes back healthy and Gafford comes back healthy, the fact that they've been staying above water here without AD, Gafford, and PJ Washington has been pretty impressive. And if they can somehow, if Memphis is the 2 seed and then they have to play an AD Kyrie team in the first round as a 7 seed, I don't think they'd be thrilled with that. You could also see the Clippers fall out, and if Dallas can get healthy and make a run, I don't know. I just think Dallas is the most intriguing. AD reevaluated in 2 weeks. Is that good news? I mean, that's the same timeline, right? Because they said he was probably going to miss a month. Yeah, and Lively. I forgot about Lively. I kind of assume he's not coming back. Aaron in the chat was saying NBA and MLB playoff push are both amazing. Baseball is back. Baseball is back, just not on ESPN, apparently. And then do you think Golden State makes the playoffs? Yeah, I think if I had to pick, right, because we said we have to pick 3 teams that aren't going to make it, right? I would pick Sacramento and Phoenix. I don't know who the third one would be. I mean, I could see if the Clippers fall into a play-in game, I wouldn't be thrilled to rely on James Harden with a do-or-die game. You know what I'm saying? So I would be nervous for Clippers if they fall into the play-in game. Good question, though. Good question. Yeah, I would say Kings, Suns. Fuck it. I'm going to say Kings, Suns, and Clips. Let's stand on some business, shall we? Let's do a quick mental health check, and then we're gonna dive into some of the slate tonight, and then we'll get out of here. It might be an efficient show today. I think I was talking too fast. All right, mental health check. Let's do it.
We can't go down this road. We can't talk about how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you. I think it changes you.
All right, so Underdog has the 10K up top. Yeah, I'm going to do SORARE right after Underdog. 10K up top, which is pretty fun. So this is, if we look at the Q tags, right, we got Anthony Edwards. I think Ant-Man's going to play. The other Q tag we have is PJ Washington. I don't know how the common man in the chat feels about it, boots on the ground in D-Town, but I kind of think he's going to play. And then Josh Hart, who I've just been leaning in. Luckily, they're going so late in the draft that I don't mind so much. But let's go look at tonight's games. Here we go. So this is what we have. Here. So I mentioned the Knicks and the Cavs. Cavs are 8.5-point favorites. That actually that feels like that should be closer. No? Maybe is there some Knicks chicanery going on? 239.5-point total. I mentioned the Grizz Magic. Grizz are now favored by, it opened at 2.5, now 3.5. I don't know. I'm putting my spidey senses up, my antennas up for Ja Morant. I feel like we might get a sit here tonight. He looked bad last night. He did only play 30 minutes. That's what he normally plays, though. And they're on a back-to-back, so I don't know. Bucks line has gone from 7.5 to 6.5, open at 7.5. I'm telling you, Giannis is not playing tonight. I think you could make a case like that he only played 24 minutes, so maybe they have him just play 24 minutes again tonight. That'd be worst case scenario. But I can't imagine both him and Dame on minutes restrictions. Dame did play 33 though, but both on minute restrictions. And then on a back-to-back against the Wizards, I don't know. And look, the spread's 6.5, man. The Wizards are double-digit dogs no matter who they play. So Giannis is for sure 100% not playing. I think that actually says Dame might not be playing too. You got Heat and Raptors, 3.5-point faves for the Heat. I don't know. There's probably some fantasy goodness in there. Pelicans against Dallas. I hope PJ's back, because if he is, I love PJ tonight. Obviously love Zion. I think that'll be I'll actually low-key want to watch this game. Spurs 4.5-point dogs against the Pistons. Spurs on a back-to-back. T-Wolves, I mentioned Ant-Man questionable. I feel like this spread says Ant's going to play. I'm hoping. And then you got OKC against the Jazz. I'm not going to watch that game. And then Warriors against Kangs. Warriors are favored by 2.5. So it sounds like everybody is healthy. All right, I wasn't looking at the chat. What did I miss? Did I miss anything good in the chit-chat here? Hold on. Why can't I find the StreamYard? Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Double-digit dogs. Let's see. What else we got? Has Jason Kidd become a good coach? I mean, I had to wrestle with this last year when he went to the finals, It's tough. All right, let's go over to SORARE here. People were asking how we did. The people are asking. You'll see we got a Kyle Kuzma over there. That's what we did today. Bought an in-season. All right, let's go take a look how we did. First, let's do the daily because I think I came in second in the daily last night. The rare, yeah, second. We won a 3-star because we had Miles Bridges, KD, Fox, Nurkic, and Jalen Wells. So there we go. We got a 3-star, won a 3-star there. And then over in the pro streets, we did all right too in the rare. You'll notice I sold off some limited stuff, so I'm just focusing on rare now. This lineup right here finished 16th, so we won a 4-star and $100. We had Jokic, Kawhi, Brunson, Klingon, and Turner. So Klingon really disappointed. This seemed like it was going to get top 10, maybe even top 3. Klingon had like 16 fantasy points in the first quarter and then did nothing the rest of the way. And then this rare contender did well too. We had Dodo for 28, Jamal with 57, and then Vassell, Sohan, and Keldon Johnson that finished at 69. Nice. Another 4-star as well. So nothing too crazy in the boxes, just like some essence and all that stuff. So good work. Good work. So we got, 2 3-stars. No, 1 3-star, 2 4-stars, I think, plus $100. So pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. Excited to start building tonight. I'm a little bummed. I thought the Sandro Mama Skukuli was going to be a baller. I thought he was going to be a baller this coming game week and last night. And it looks like they're just going to go Biyombo for like 15 minutes and then Jeremy Sohan for 25 and I think they're just going to be playing small. So I do think Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy, I think Stephon Castle, all of those Spurs get a nice little boost here. I'll be curious how they approach the back-to-back. We'll have to pay attention. Hopefully we get some injury news earlier on today. I don't think we've gotten any news yet. Let me check that. And I saw regulators comment about the Nuggets. Yeah, I mean, the Nuggets Thunder, please give me a 7-game series of that. I do really think, though, I think there could be an issue with the Dallas Mavericks. If they get in a fun spot, could be interesting. Could be interesting. One other thing to point out, Bol started the second half over Bol started the second half over Big Dick Nick Rich. So the Nick Richards experiment might be done. Josh Hart injury news. I don't know. I mean, he's questionable. I think he's playing tonight. That spread of 8.5 feels kind of big, doesn't it? Maybe they're just saying they don't think OG's playing and they're on a back-to-back, but Cleveland's also on a back-to-back, and Cleveland had to play their guys a little bit more than they probably thought they were going to. I would have guessed like 4.5, no? So I don't know. Maybe not. Yeah, Joker usually kills AD, though. I think Dallas is kind of a tough matchup for OKC, both like mentally and physically. So we also, we should give OKC a little bit more leeway. They played like 3 games with their full lineup with like Chet and Hartenstein on the floor at the same time. And like most of them have been against like Utah, who they play again tonight. So I don't know. Maybe we got to give OKC a little bit more credit. We also might be bored of giving OKC credit because they've been clearly the best team in the Western Conference since we tipped off in October. So maybe we're just like not giving them enough love there. But I don't know. I'm excited for Denver though. I think they're like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon have been playing pretty well lately. And I know Aaron Gordon, they've like slowly been bringing back and he's starting to look like himself. Russell Westbrook, it sounds like he didn't play last night, but he should be back shortly. I thought they said he wasn't on the injury report and then did they rule him out? Is that what happened in that? I'm going to look at that really quickly. But they're still without Peyton Watson. Oh no, he played 26 minutes last night. He was back. Dummy. So there you go. Russ is back. How big of a hit does Fox take? He actually doesn't. He gets a boost. I think he gets a boost. We saw it last night. He is the offense. So I think he gets a boost. That's true. That is true too. Yeah, I know. I think it's probably Jaren Jackson Jr. time. Triple J, man. I think Triple J has a shot at All NBA. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Mathology. Appreciate you, man. No, you know what? I was watching Severance last night, and I watched hockey last night, and so I had the game up on my phone, but I really only watched the last like 5 or 6 minutes of the game. I didn't watch like the full game. Yeah, Wemby is disqualified from all of that stuff because he didn't play enough games. So it's an All NBA slot and a Defensive Player of the Year slot, All Defensive Team slot. All of those opened up. A lot of slots opening. But yeah, I watched hockey. That was an entertaining game. Hockey was fun. Shout out to Canada. Oh, shout out Micah Ruzioni, baby. ADHA question. Where do the Knicks players live in Manhattan? Some probably do. I think like Deuce McBride does. I bet a lot of them live in Long Island too. I know there's like their practice facility is in Westchester, I think. So maybe there's some out there. Yeah, I don't know. Common Man is obsessed with that rebound take. I feel like you're legally obligated to bring it up once a month about Jaren Jackson Jr. not rebounding enough for your liking. Yeah, are you drinking in the Mets Kool-Aid this year? Yeah, I mean, I like the Mets. I like the Mets more than the Yankees. I just hate the Red Sox, man. I just hate this team so much. Just the worst vibes in the world. Shout out Don Orsillo got a bag though with the Padres. Tweeted that out the other day. Like the Red Sox have let 3 GOATs go: Babe Ruth, Mookie Betts, and Don Orsillo. Did I see the Top Shot buybacks packs? I saw something of it. I'm like impressed with Top Shot's ability to keep making sure you guys buy stuff. No one does it better. No, I think the betting favorites for Defensive Player of the Year, I think Jaren Jackson leads the way. I actually don't think let's see. NBA Defensive Player of the Year odds. Let's see. According to Vegas Insider, we've got Jaren Jackson Jr. is the fave at -120, and then Mobley at +120. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, why? This actually feels pretty bad. Hold on. Let me look at another site here. Let's go to covers.com. Yeah, all right. Jaren Jackson Jr., Mobley, Dort, Dyson Daniels at +1,300. I kind of feel like somebody from OKC should win it, if I'm being honest. Feels like somebody should. They've got like historically one of the best defenses of all time. I don't know. Maybe J-Dub. J-Dub doing it on both ends, can defend littles, can defend bigs. So can Dort. Let's do a Dort report, and then we're going to get out of here. After a little Dorty reporty. There's your warning. I know you bitches cry if I do it without telling you. All right, busy day today. Stay tuned for some buckets and tea. We'll be dropping later tonight, probably. We got live before lock at 5 p.m. Go watch Hoop Sense. Go watch Hoop Sense on the Count the Dinks channel. Get those views up, baby. Get those views up. If I don't see you for live before lock, hope you guys have a great weekend. Good luck in them streets. We out.